What is going on, all of you beautiful people? This is Manufactured Opinion here, and today I am bringing you another Ni no Kuni video involving the cute little Toko, only this time it is in its second form, the TokoToko, which is just as awesome to say because it is two Tokos. But anyways, I have a nice farming method here for you today involving said TokoToko. This works great when you're training for the final boss fight and also in the post game. But before I get into that, I just need to say that you need the Vale Spell in order to use this method. I will put an annotation in this video linking you to a video that I have just showing you how to get the Vale Spell. If you've been following Horus's riddles all throughout the game, you should be able to find him as soon as you reach Perdita, and you'll be able to get the Vale Spell right away, which means you can utilize this method right away. But onto the farming method, a lot of people will tell you, and especially in the post game, a lot of people will tell you that tokotocolds in the Ivory Tower are the best enemies to farm because they net you 22,000 experience. And I am not going to argue that. That is a lot of experience, and you can rank up familiars pretty damn fast if you have some good luck finding those tokotocolds. But after, using different methods, in the Ivory Tower, it takes kind of a long time because depending on how you're running through the hallways, you may have to save and quit, which involves loading screens and continue screens, or you could gateway, which still involves loading screens. So it takes a bit of time, but with this method here, you can just travel back to Perdita, all of the enemies respawn, and you can run back down the pathway again, and I'll explain the technique a little bit later. But the best part about this technique with TokoTokos is you have a pretty good chance of finding two of them in combat when you run into one on the world map. So that will net you around 17,000 experience, which is pretty damn close to a tokotocold in the Ivory Tower. And the best part about that is this method takes a lot less time than farming the tokotocold. So this is something you're obviously going to want to use before the final boss battle, and something you're definitely going to want to keep in mind post-game if farming tokotocolds in the Ivory Tower is just frustrating you. But anyways, if you rewind the video a little bit, you'll see that I cast the Vale Spell at the top of the path near the town of Perdita, and I ran all the way down the pathway. Now, something you want to keep in mind is, one, make sure you look in the forests and in the trees because the tokotokos may be hidden in there, and you may run by one by accident. Another thing to keep in mind is when you're using the Vale Spell, you don't have to sneak up behind any enemies. You can just run right at them. With your arms flailing in the air like a wacky waving inflatable arm flailing 2-man, and they won't even notice, which is great. You'll have the upper hand in combat as soon as you run into them. And what you saw in the video is I just ran down the pathway looking for TokoTokos, and then when I reached the end of the pathway, I cast Travel back to Perdita. That resets the spawns of the enemies, and you run back down the pathway and do that over and over again to your heart's content until all of your wonderful familiars are at the level cap. And with this technique, the level cap really isn't even an issue anymore. It only takes you maybe a couple of hours to get all of your favorite familiars to the best possible levels. So with that, I leave you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it informative. I hope you're enjoying Ni no Kuni. And as always, I hope you're enjoying life, everybody. I'll talk to you later.